What's going on, you guys? This is Erica's for the win, and I'm going to teach you how to beat the Master of Time. At least I think that's his name. That's what the trophy says. It's much too early right now as I'm making this video because there's no boss lists for this game. There's no wiki, nothing. So I think that's his name. It makes sense. So anyways, I'm going to teach you guys how I beat this boss. It's a tough boss, and there's a lot to learn, a lot to take in, so I'm going to try my best to explain everything I did, and there might be better tactics out there by now, at least when this video is uploaded. Now that everybody has the game, I'm sure there's going to be people who figure out better tactics than I had, but this is just how I did it and what worked for me. So if it can work for you, that's awesome. So yeah, as you can see here, you got the boxes, the squares that are around him. You got to shoot through them to get to him, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to focus on just a few of them, because the more that you shoot, the more orbs that come out. And before you know it, there's going to be tons of them that you're going to have to avoid. And so that's the whole trick, is that you're going to try and hit a couple on the first row, get to the second row, hit a couple more there, and keep your eye on that one. And they're going to meet up again. They're going to line up again. So you don't necessarily have to keep your eyes on those specific squares because they will line up again. All you have to do is just remember where they line up and then shoot them. And eventually they get smaller in size, and that hints to you that, okay, that's the one. That's the one you got to keep going after. The trick here for me was to be extremely patient. Not to try and just get in there and focus so hard on that square that I have to get it down. You just have to be patient. You have to wait till it's lined up. You have to wait till you're in the clear from the orbs and his fire or whatever that is. And you have to make sure you're clear enough to be able to get a couple shots in. And as long as you can get a couple shots here and there, that's all you really need. And you just have to be patient as time keeps going, because it can take a while. As I'm looking at this video, as I'm talking, it is going to take a while, but eventually you get it done. And yeah, here he is. He's coming out. Second phase. Right here, I'm going to slow the video down because there's a trick to this. When the orbs start to expand, that's when you're going to hit dodge. Now I'm going to slow it down so you guys can see exactly what I mean. That's the trick, because that was kind of messing me up at the beginning. I had trouble with that because I couldn't time it right. I was thinking it was more of a reflex thing when really it was all about just watching what the orbs are doing. And once they started to expand, that's when you hit the dodge, and it works almost every time. So definitely get that down. You don't want to waste health on these little orbs right here. It'll haunt you later, trust me. So you want to get that down. Next, we move on to this next part of the phase, and you got these orbs that are coming in and going out. They're expanding, and then you have his fire that he's letting out as well. What you have to do here is you have to shoot the platform that he's on while evading what's going on, because you have these orbs that are shooting out, you have fire that he's shooting out, and then you have the single orbs that are coming through the middle, as well as health orbs. So what you want to do is you want to rotate. You want to go from one side to the other, and you have to avoid the orbs. This takes some practice. I can't really explain it any better than that. It's all about reflex. It's all about knowing where you're at, being aware of what's coming, and just keeping your eyes on everything, because there's a lot to worry about here. And once you get into a rhythm, it's pretty easy. I honestly felt like this was the easiest part of the fight, at least one of the easiest parts. It's just all about getting into a rhythm and being aware of the orbs coming in and out, because you're gonna want to dodge in and out from them, as well as side to side with the fire and everything else that's going on. The next phase, or part of the phase, I should say, you have all of these little orbs that are floating around. What you're wanting to do is not pay attention to those and just parry him when he attacks you. It stops the orbs from floating around, and it gives you a chance, if you need it, you can go collect health, because there are a few around the area. So that's what I would do at times if I was low on health. If not, I would just go in and start fighting. Hit those parries, hit your dodges, especially when he's throwing out this huge ring of fire. I keep calling it fire because I don't know what else to call it. But you want to be kind of far from him, have some distance, so that way you're able to hit that dodge on that big ring of fire. Because if you're close, chances are he's going to hit you with that. Then of course you have the pie, as I like to call it, the piece of pie that you got to hit, you got to dodge into, or else you're going to be in his range of attack parry, parry, parry at this part, get that down. And this is pretty basic. You should be used to this type of combat already from the previous bosses. You just have to use your reflexes, react, parry when you have to, hit the dodges when you have to, that piece of pie, and get in there and counter. And before you know it, you're on to the next phase. So here we are, we got those rings again. I might slow it down again just to emphasize that once they start to expand and move a little bit, that's when you hit the dodge. Very, very basic. This part's tricky, all right? This part's a little bit hard, but once you get into a rhythm, this is going to be very, very fun. This was the funnest part of the fight, at least in my opinion. You have the rings that are coming out. You got the lineup of orbs that are coming after you. So you're going to dodge the orbs, dodge into the rings, dodge out of the rings, out of the orbs. It's just like you're going to go back and forth, and you have to keep your eye on both things. My trick and what I did was whatever was coming faster or closest to me, I dodged that first. So if it was the ring coming first, I would dodge that. If it was the orbs, I would dodge that, then go back for the ring, and vice versa. I would just focus on what was coming first and then dodge that first. Here we are again with the floating orbs, and same tactic as before. Parry him, get everything to stop, and then just battle him with what's in front of you. You have all these orbs everywhere you have to avoid. You can shoot them if you want, but I didn't bother. I figured it would just take too much time, and I wanted to focus on him and where he was at. Maybe I made it harder on myself because now I have to avoid all the orbs everywhere, and I think I did get some damage from them a bit, which kind of sucked, but I felt like that was a better risk to take rather than actually, wasting time on shooting the orbs and everything, because I wanted to keep my eyes on him. I wanted to be ready for what he was going to do and be ready to dodge, even though I don't really show good skill at that at this moment. But, I am getting hit. I am playing a little bit sloppy. I was kind of nervous fighting this guy because he's tough, and I was having trouble with him for a minute. And so this was the furthest I had been in this fight, so this was all new to me. I was trying to figure it out as I was going, and just kind of just trying to figure it out. And my advice at this part is just really it's man versus man here, or in my case woman versus man, and it was just all about that 1v1, just using the skills that I have learned thus far, trying to parry, trying to counter when I can, trying to dodge as perfect as I can, and it was just all about that. And yeah, so I get through that, and here we are with the last phase. And this phase is crazy. What I did was I just tried to avoid all the orbs. I wasn't focused on him right here because he is gold, as you can see. I cannot hurt him. And I don't know if you guys knew that yet, but you cannot hurt him when he is gold like that. So it's really all about just trying to avoid everything and then get to this part where the platforms come up. And honestly, I kind of felt like this wasn't so bad of a last phase. Really, what I did was just keep shooting towards the platforms, because anything that's going to come in front of me is going to get shot and go away. So I wasn't really worried too much. I was thinking, I'm good. All I got to do is bring these down, and that's it. So what I did was just get, a good distance away and just make sure that nothing was really behind me. And I would just keep on going. Take one down at a time. Don't rush it. Keep an eye on what's around you. But really, I think this is not hard at all. All you have to do is just shoot it, and you're going to shoot everything that's in front of you. You're pretty much in the clear. So keep distance. You don't want to be too close. And yeah, man, that's pretty much it. I'm watching it right now, and this is pretty much the end right here. But this was a great fight. I thought this was very challenging. This guy was annoying me at times. I was like, man, this guy's hard. But all it takes is practice and just, getting better. And you will get better. That's the cool thing about this game, is you'll realize, like, man, I'm getting way better. And so, yes, you can see I take down the last pillar. That's what I should have been calling them, pillars. Come on, Erica. Yeah, so I take down the last pillar, and here we are, the 1v1. One last parry, and that's it. He's done. And that's the cool thing about the end when it comes to each boss, the last phase. You can take him out pretty quickly. I think the last phase is not always the hardest, You would think it would be, but it's not. It's just all about just knowing what to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, this boss. I mean, I won't be surprised if people have trouble with this boss. It's really all about just keeping an eye on what's around you, being aware of what's around you, being aware of what he's doing. It's a lot of multitasking. It's a lot of paying attention to everything that's going on. And that can be overwhelming at times. And if you're not in the right state of mind, or you're already kind of upset, you're having a hard time with it, you start to rage and stuff like that, my advice is just take a little break. Take a little breather, come back, and you'll probably beat it that time. That's usually what I do if that happens to me. So that's my advice, you guys. I hope you like this video. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you think about this game, what you think about this boss. Go ahead and let me know in the comment section. And that is it, you guys. Thanks again, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.